Hello, and welcome to How to Build ROBOphelia. So, as you know, today is the very last day to vote for YouTube Next Up, so go do that. Now, ROBOphelia. She's very cool, and many people have asked me how I made her, specifically the arms, because obviously, if you're familiar with LEGO minifigures, you know that their arms do not usually point out like that and allow you to attach cool bits like these tool pieces here. So, as far as ROBOphelia goes, just by looking at her, you can pretty much tell what she's made of. The crystal piece on top from the dwarf sets and things like that. The head is just a minifigure head. This one happens to be from an Islander set from the 90s. The legs are just some 1x1 rounds, just stuck on the bottom of a torso. But the real question is the arms. So now I'm going to show you exactly how I made these arms, and a couple different ways you can make similar arms in case you don't have these exact pieces. So, ROBOphelia. I'm going to pull out her arm, and you will see it in all of its glory, and it's sort of covered in goo right now. But basically what this piece is just one of these pieces, which you may or may not be familiar with, that I have modified, aka broken, to turn into a little piece that fits inside the arm and has a nice little stud and stuff to put on top of it. So basically I just did that with a file, filing it down, and that's how I made these two little pieces that go inside her body. However, you can't stick things just inside of any LEGO minifigure torso. So here's something you need to know about torsos. Here we have two pirate torsos. One from the original line of pirates, and one from the most recent line that came out a couple years ago. So if we pick up these two torsos, we see a very different structure inside. So this one is very open, and you can see through the armhole. Whereas this one has an X on the bottom. If you try to see through the hole, you can't, because there's some stuff in the middle. What this means is that any old style torsos, and these will be ones that are produced before 1998, I think, are able to have things put through them. Anything that's the width of one of these lightsaber rod pieces. So this is lightsaber rods, this is, these tools that are, ROBOphelias, they can fit through there. Anything like that can be put through the torso, and then you can just build onto that. So what I did with ROBOphelia is obviously she's got two little pieces like this, and they can each move a little independently, and if you look inside, there's a little give. They're basically connecting into these pieces. And over time, I've worn down the inside of ROBOphelia's torso, and I've had to fill it up with putty to be able to position the arms the way I do. Now, going back, so let's say you have some old Lego around your house. Check the bottom of the torso. If you've got this type, you can build robots sort of similar, arms similarly to the way I did ROBOphelia. If not, there's, and all you have are newer style torsos, which I'm sure is a lot of people out there. I'll show you a technique for that. So let's start with if you've got an old style torso. Obviously ROBOphelia is built pretty simply. She just has those two pieces and some tools, and then, occasionally I'll throw on whatever else I want onto this arm socket or her foot socket. But let's build sort of a robot from scratch here and show you some of the different things you can do with similar techniques. So push this rod through here. Then we're going to take two of these cone pieces, stick on the end, right there and right there. So now we've covered up that piece. And then we'll take some of these sort of faucet pieces, build that, and take some grabby robot arms, do that. You want to have a cool head that looks sort of robot-y, so I chose the wrapper head from the collectible minifigure series. Then for legs, I'm going to do the 1x1 rounds like ROBOphelia has. I'm going to make this guy a little taller. stick some poles in, and then put some jumper plates down as feet. Now we've got this cool robot guy, and of course the crystal head. So that's sort of that guy. However, if you've got the new style torso, you need to use this tricky technique that I did not come up with and would have never thought on my own. I think it was invented by the guy who goes by the name Moko, but any adult fans out there who know better can correct me. So basically, you have these little antenna pieces, and you're going to stick them inside the torso. So see, I've already put this one in here, and it sort of clasps into that little X at the bottom. It's actually, once you get it to fit, it's a weird connection you would have never made on your own probably, unless you're Moko. But it's really kind of sturdy, you know, and it allows for the arms to be flexible and go out to the side, which is a cool option. However, now that you've put pieces here, you're not going to be able to stick normal legs in there. So what we're going to need to do is take even more of these antennae and then put them up inside so they click around. And I've lost this other one while I'm doing this. This is a pretty tricky thing to do. And then take a hand off a minifigure and use the hand to go around the piece, the antenna, and then stick it into the torso nice and tightly. What that does is it just basically makes the connection a little sturdier. Again, not a technique I came up with, one I just saw online and I'm copying, because I would have never figured this out on my own. But it actually works and is really cool looking when you get it all together. But again, even for me, this is a tricky piece to get in. Oh, popped out. Alright, now that it's there, we've got that. So this is sort of our new robot-based torso, but now we've got, you know, cool pieces out here that we can stick basically, you know, anything that'll fit there. Again, this is Lego. I'm going to keep with this stripe theme, put some green radar dishes and white cones each side to get some sort of nice big chunky arms. Going to give him this ninja head. And then for legs, again, we're going to use these 1x1 rounds, but in green this time. And then use these cool little tooth pieces as some little shoes. And then top it off with, of course, a cool green crystal. And then you've got someone who basically looks like he could be a boss from a Mega Man game. Sort of looks like Experiment Man. So then, you know, you've got your whole little family of cool robot friends. Alright, well, I hope that was helpful out there. Thanks for watching, and tune in for more Nightly News at 9 coming soon.